In the past, I used to trust people's stories more than their actions because I wanted to believe in people. I wanted to believe in the good of people. I wanted to be ready to believe that these people were not as heartless as they seemed. And yet, for many times and continuously, I was shown that even if these people had hearts, they were not using it to protect me. They were using my love and affection and compassion as a weapon because I can be calm and cool and sophisticated, and I wanted things to work. I wanted things to produce a positive outcome. I wanted to transmute this negativity into something positive. But unfortunately, many people are just like, we live in such a fallen world that it is true that we we definitely have the ability to maneuver and to live joyful and to rejoice in many different positive situations. And I think it's important to stay positive and always trust that you can come out on the other side no matter what. You can hit the restart button on your life at any point. It sucks. It's not fun to start from scratch sometimes, even if you've built everything you can, but you have to trust that, if there's a situation where you're feeling like you're being punished, sometimes it's not a punishment from God. It's you are under attack, and instead of seeing the signs for what they were, you wanted to believe that this person was better than they really are. And I know this, for me, this is one of the characteristics of myself that I've been really striving to make better. I'm now putting more of a lock on my compassion. And it's not because I don't have compassion, it's that I've seen just how malicious the world can be. And if the devil cannot reach you, he's going to send something or someone to try to wear you down, whether it's eroding your clarity of mind, it's seduction, it's whatever it is. The devil is going to try to wear you down and incrementally take control of the situation and make you work within their frame. You see, that's the thing that a lot of the times people don't recognize. And look, I understand. I very much understand. And the thing is like, sometimes you don't even know you're operating in the enemy's camp. You don't even know that you're operating in the devil's realm because it looks like paradise. It feels like paradise. It feels like this great thing, like, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, this is so great. This is fantastic. Everything is going according to plan. Everything's doing this, everything's doing that, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden the rug gets pulled out from underneath you, or you feel like you were kind of like a pig being fattened just to, be slaughtered. That's the kind of thing you've got to be careful of, because the devil will do that. The devil's a liar. You don't even need to trust even the lies that he tells that are truthful are still lies. It's very hard to see the truth, and the devil will make you feel good. The devil will make you feel elated in some instances just to leave you in the dust. And you have to remember that the enemy will disguise himself to be the angel of light, right? The Bible says that the devil first comes as an angel of light, and then he slowly, he kills you. He tries to kill you, and he might be successful. He might just be successful. And the only thing that you can do in situations like this is to recognize that, okay, well, this is what's happened. This is obviously not what I thought it was. And you could beat yourself up about it. You could feel guilty about it. You could feel terrible. You could feel like you're an idiot. You can feel like you're stupid. But sometimes you just need to listen to that inner retard and just continue forward. Okay? Listen to the inner retard, continue forward, and trust that you can do whatever it takes to bounce back from this. Like, you don't need to be stuck because of some narcissist or some whatever that thinks that they can just come into your life, destroy it, and walk away. You know, they're like ghosts. You know, these kinds of people, like, vengeance is the Lord's. Okay, remember, vengeance is the Lord's. And remember that whoever is oppressing you spiritually, physically, or emotionally, and they are doing something that you know, and you maybe you were cautious about this person. Maybe you were cautious, but and you asked the right questions. You tried to vet them properly and all that, and yet, you know, it's almost like the more you engage with people like this anyway, the more that they're just going to erode your sense of clarity. And so the best way to take your power back is to name what's actually going on in the situation. If you're being gaslit, you know, if you're going through hard times, if you're doing this or that, if you're going through something where there's like a triangulation process or love bombing, you have to, or future faking, you have to see, okay, like, this is what it is, and I'm positive that this is what it is, and now I'm going to move accordingly, and I'm going to stand my ground, and I'm not going to be aggressive, but I'm going to stand tall and stand strong in what's going on. Well, so the thing is like, people that are of the devil, people that are in the world, a lot of the times when they cannot possess you or they cannot control you, that's when they just leave. Okay, so you have to be so difficult to manipulate nowadays, especially with the online stuff. Like, one thing that I don't even say I'm like hesitant to talk about this because I'll be posting it, but like, something I did not expect from being online and having an online presence in a digital real estate, something I did not expect was that people would absolutely like fabricate their identities just to interact with me. And that was something that I did not anticipate. I did not, like, I knew I would get hate comments and all that, but I had no clue that there were people out there that would devote their lives to fabricating this false sense of identity just to try to get into my life. That I did not anticipate that. I did not know that that was going to be a thing. I did not know that that was possible. And that was a failure on my imagination. Like, I don't have the imagination. Maybe it's not a failure of imagination. It's just that like, I'm imagining better things. Like, like I'm imagining better things. I'm imagining, you know, better things for the Regal Change Academy. I'm imagining better things for the people that I do one-on-one mentorships with. I'm imagining things that are going to be better for my life. I'm imagining better investments. I'm imagining better ways of doing business. I'm imagining better jobs for people. Like, I'm just imagining, I'm so focused on like the goodness that sometimes I forget that, like, people can be so freaking evil sometimes, man. Like, some people are just so freaking malicious. And, you know, they want to distract you from your actual purpose. They want to distract you from who you know you're meant to be. They want to distract you from destiny. They want to make it seem like they'll have like the same fate or whatnot or whatever, right? And that's something that you've got to be mindful of, because it can feel real. That's the scary part, you know. That's the most genuinely frightening part about some of these narcissists and some of these people out here in general that will completely fabricate their identity. I mean, when you realize that you're talking to somebody that isn't real, you're like grieving, like especially if you thought you had something with this person, you're like grieving uh an illusion. You know, you're grieving someone that doesn't even exist. And that's a weird feeling. You know, that's a weird, strange feeling. And as long as you have your humanity, you know, this is something I learned recently is like if you have your humanity, you're capable of being conned in some way by the devil. Okay, well, because obviously, like, and it's going to be the devil through people, right? Like people are who they are, but it's like you just have to be very, very, very careful and mindful that these people are who they say they are. Like, remember to listen to their story, and watch out for their their actions. And if their story and their actions aren't lining up, and you might even try to convince yourself that the story and the actions are aligned even though they're not. I've done this in the past. And I will do this because sometimes I I just want to be able to give people the opportunity. Like, I know even something that I'm learning now about myself is I need to be way more ruthless when it comes to my personal life and who's actually involved in my personal life. I need to be way more ruthless. If I'm to be the kind of person that I want to be, I have to be way more, not necessarily cunning, but strategic in a cold way while keeping my humanity. You know, this is why it's so important to read books like The Art of War. You know, we did an Art of War class series in the Regal Change Academy a few months ago, and something that I realized was like there are so many people that are not incorporating this into their life, and this kind of stuff that they're like, the information's available but they're not incorporating it. And sometimes experience is going to be the only way you can learn certain things. And especially when it comes to the devil and fighting you, like he's trying to drain you, and you just have to trust that God has not abandoned you. Okay, God didn't abandon you. You were just heavily deceived. And you have to take accountability for it, of course. You know, it is your fault that you didn't have the discernment, or maybe you did have the discernment but you didn't want to listen to your intuition or instincts. You wanted to listen to the story because you wanted to believe that this person wasn't as terrible as they claimed they were, or they weren't as terrible as they were showing themselves to be and claiming that they're not. But anyways, guys, I think I got everything that I wanted to say said in this video. I hope that this was useful and insightful for you. And if you do want to join the Regal Change Academy, check out the links in the description box below, or set up a one-on-one mentorship call with me. I hope everybody has a blessed rest of your day. Peace be with you. Until next time.